say it.
All right. Let's start because I want to finish things out with the more interesting series, I guess you can. I mean, they're both interesting. I want to start with Atlanta and Philadelphia.
Let's just say outside of Phoenix, come on, like the East has just killed it in the playoffs this year.
True.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. And I'm not taking anything away from the West. Let's just say it for what it is. The East is killing it in the playoffs.
Atlanta, Philadelphia, though. Games tomorrow, 6:30 TNT. Go check it out. No, I'm kidding.
It is gonna be hostile. That game 5.
Yeah, it's in Philadelphia too. It's gonna be a nasty.
You seen that Philadelphia crowd?
Yeah.
Oh, you thought the New York crowd was like, good lord, they're running neck and neck.
Yeah.
Really.
No, I think Philadelphia is
Boston.
Gonna,
these are historically notorious, fan bases where.
But I mean, in Philadelphia, they won a Super Bowl and they went absolutely ballistic. So, like, you got success. You're gonna get your dudes coming out there to root for you.
Man, they booed Santa Claus, so I'm just saying. Take what you wanted from that.
All right. No, Philadelphia. Man, it's weird. It's hard. This team is weird, and this series is weird. Atlanta. I told you this last night. I feel like Atlanta over before Game 4, the last 2 games, games 2 and 3, it just felt like they were just a year too soon.
Yes.
But then you come back in Game 4, even because at the time we were talking about it during the game, and I said that they were a year too soon, but it was like
from garbage time in Game 1 to about 5 minutes left in fourth quarter, they have just been in this fog where they have just been like 2 steps behind this team all of a sudden, which makes no sense whatsoever. And I mean, they can't shoot the ball, whether they on the road, whether they're at home, and they was able to grit out and gut out and just stay close enough until the team finally hit a spark and woke up. And my goodness, that was a team I'll know and love right there. It was last night down the stretch. But back to your point, I just wanted to kind of frame that in that time frame as to what they disappeared and then showed back up. It was like, what happened here?
It was a great comeback. I don't know what's been happening over games 2 and 3 in the first half of Game 4, but that second half where you were down big, and I think there was a stat they like outscored them 61 to like 38 or something like that, from like the last 4 minutes of Game 4 in the first half. So I mean, they played a game where I don't know what happened, but they flipped a switch and they were hitting the shots again, and they stayed in it. They stayed close, and then people kept saying a wild finish. I was like, okay, free throws and a missed heave from 3. I think that's something I've never seen before. But man, it was a frantic finish for sure. But I definitely think that I don't know what it was that Atlanta did that flustered Philadelphia so much at the end of that game. Because man, Ben Simmons with the turnover. We heard the soundbite from Joel Embiid. He couldn't even get off the floor with his knee issue, which is the first time where since he's been injured in round 1, that we've been talking about his injury as an actual injury.
Right.
So man, I don't know any meniscus tear that takes a week and a half to actually manifest in poor play. So
that's what I'm saying. His injury,
which is also a knee injury that came from hitting his hip on the floor. If we go back and remember correctly,
right? The knee back.
Somehow it's a neck injury too. I don't know.
But since the injury, and since he got that injury, the dude
averaging 40 points.
Right, 39.5 points a game. And then now he's deemed healthy. Did you catch his second half stats?
No, I did not.
0
He
for 12.
completely disappeared.
0 for 12.
Yeah.
4 for 20 for the game, but he was 0 for 12 in the second half. He was saying, I wonder what happened. Let me start right there. They lost the game with Embiid. You know, not that, he needed to be sitting on the bench. It just, whatever's ailing him, he did not have it the other day, And I mean, some kind of, it was interesting. I've been seeing a lot of good players have bad games and still come out with good stats. Dude, how you still at 17 and 21? This dude still had 21 rebounds.
That,
Couldn't
I
shoot a
thought I
lick.
saw that right. I was like, "There's no way you have 21 rebounds." Like
He
I
does.
was like, "Jeez."
But let me explain why. This is the problem. This is the problem. Unfortunately, now I have to just shed a little light over here to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And put a spotlight on. Y'all have a big issue with y'all size. Y'all have no rebounders. I'm sorry, you got
It's literally Clint Capella and nobody else.
Clint Capella and yes, that's it.
I think it's supposed to be John Collins, but I don't think that they're taking the same approach as Phoenix is with Jay Crowder and and DeAndre Ayton.
No. Collins is like, look, I'm a scorer. I shoot threes. I'm on the perimeter. I'll come
But
down.
when you're listed
He's
as a
everywhere.
power forward center, I'm sorry, I need rebounds out of you.
And I'm just saying, and I don't think that they established him more as a stretch four, as opposed to he's not a prototypical power forward. He goes down there from time to time, but again, they're gonna need to beef up the line a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I mean,
And this is why I'm saying I think that they're a year too early because they need a guy off the bench that can still get you rebounds.
right? Because I think you can kind of play around with Collins between the 3, 4, and if you go on small ball, even the 5 at some points in certain lineups.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just going forward. I'm just kind of getting ahead of myself. But yeah, they are just because. And I watched the game. Embiid was getting those rebounds pretty. They were just bouncing to him. He wasn't like he was crashing the board 21 times and just snagging the ball. Like he made it on 3 plays. The ball just kept bounce, hits him right in the hands. He's standing. His hands is already up there. He just grab it. And there they go. It was effortless, especially when Atlanta. Of course, they've been cold for 2.5 games.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. It's just that's taking nothing away from Embiid because I know a lot of big men that have been in those situations and they walk out of there with 8 rebounds a game because but he took advantage and at least he stepped up in different areas when he didn't have it on the offensive end. Now, what I got confused at, he kept shooting.
Yeah.
That's the thing I was trying to get at. Like, yeah, he did make the pass to Ben Simmons down the stretch, but that was one play. Like, what I'm saying? If you made a couple of more of those one plays, you might have would have won the game, and this would have been a 3-1 series, not a 2-2.
I think it's weird because, like, I think this was going to be an opportunity in that second half with Joel's injury. They really could have showcased Ben Simmons if they wanted to, but they decided not to. And this is where I'm having an issue with Doc Rivers, where I'm like, dude, you started out, because this is going back to this offseason where you decided to not force Ben Simmons to develop a shot. You didn't go get the shooters, enough shooters to put around Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid because they both want to play in the paint. I think that's the difference. Is that, like, not the fact that yes, Joel can shoot on the 3-point line, but Joel wants to be in the paint. Ben Simmons wants to score in the paint, and
they don't have any shooters.
And I'm like, if Seth Curry can't shoot, like if he's having an off night, your entire game fails. Like there's nothing you can do, and I think that's what's so fragile about this team. And so, honestly, whoever wins this series, I'm sorry to say, I can't take you against whoever wins the other series in the East.
Yeah,
because both of them, I feel like Atlanta's a year too early, and Philadelphia just, for some reason, did not put together the pieces the way that they should have or develop the pieces that they had to get them to a place where, because if Philadelphia has either Ben Simmons with a shot or just 2 more shooters to come off the bench, Atlanta can't hang.
Exactly. They got nice pieces. They just don't necessarily have, like you were saying, the right.
They don't have
pieces.
The correct pieces for what their stars are.
I like Maxey. And you talked about Thibault. And Thibault
he stuck Trae Young.
He did what he had to do. I mean, I'm not really focused on his offensive game, but defensively
he actually made all defensive second team.
His presence was shown.
Yeah.
I mean, you can taking the eye test, you can see, okay, man, this dude is for real, and he looked impressive, but
I can't wait to see him when he does develop his offensive
game. Can he
game.
technically? I think that's still asking a tall order to just throw Thibault out there to stick Trae Young. I'm like, man, somebody don't like you, Thibault. I just want you to know that.
I don't think he has to be there out there by himself, but I think that he does do enough to just. You're
can't.
not gonna stop Trae Young, but you can
can't.
slow him down and make him uncomfortable.
But I know we were talking about that last week when we were talking about we can throw Simmons at him and and you could throw a Curry at him. No, you can't. Curry can't play defense.
No.
As much as I was trying to protect this guy, I'm like, God, this dude is not. He's a defensive liability. Not that he can't play any defense. He's just not that
not
type
against
of.
the best.
He's not that kind of defender, and his game is he can play average defense and give you very good offense. And if he's wide open, he's not Steph. However, he's Steph 0.5. Not 1 point.
But I think it's weird though because I think Seth Curry has a better efficiency rating than Steph does.
He doesn't shoot volume. The volume of He has never been given the green light like that, and
he shouldn't.
That's not a stat we should. That stat doesn't tell the story. He really. I know. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's just because we're talking about volume now, and of course Steph was given the green light. Steph Curry still plays a part of a system.
Yeah.
And I have made got into a big argument with a guy about who's the greatest shooter. This was way before ESPN was talking about how Steph Curry, the greatest shooter, and everybody they coined him the greatest shooter of all time, and this and that. And I was like, there's two people I think that I've seen in the league in my time, all up to now, who could have actually rivaled him. And like nobody was like, and when I shared it, this guy was like, could not see it whatsoever. And I said the first person was his coach, Steve Kerr, who was had the highest, still has the highest 3-point field goal percentage.
Does he still? I think Seth Curry passed him.
Did he just do it? Because he's been that ever since like 1998.
Here, I'll pull it up. You keep going.
Okay, and that was one. Like if you just talking about like if you was like all right, we're gonna have a 3-point shootout, and then we're gonna get down to who's gonna be the greatest. I ain't never seen anybody in a 3-point shootout contest outdo Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr has been like, damn, lights out.
It's Steve Kerr with 45.4, Seth Curry 44.4. Steph Curry is 1, 2, 3, 4. He is 7 spots down. He's the 7th best with 43.3.
And it's because of his volume, and his volume is going to affect that. Which he can be rightfully at the top just for who he is. Go ahead. What you seeing?
This is hilarious. I'm sorry. 3 points made. Steph Curry. 2,832. Steve Kerr. Just wild guess at what the number of 3-pointers made.
Not even 1,000.
Not even 726.
Does a lot with very little.
Yeah.
And this is because you want to know what it looked like back in the day? Literally.
Yeah.
Somebody hear that and be like, oh man, get this out of here. Whenever he touched the ball and decided to wind up and shoot, he damn near hit it every time.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr did not take bad shots. He only took shots that he knew that he had a very high percentage chance of hitting.
When you're playing on a team,
in the flow of the offense.
Yeah, because when you're playing on a team with MJ and Scottie Pippen and Armstrong and all these other great players, you can't miss the shots that you take. If you take a bad shot or you take a shot that doesn't have that good of a chance of going in, MJ's going to get on you. And we all know, I mean, you go back looking at The Last Dance, any other documentary that has to do with the Chicago Bulls or just MJ himself, he does not take being ill-prepared or any sort of just mistake. He's going to call you out on it.
Right.
So, I mean, I agree with you. I think Steve Kerr is the greatest shooter of all time. I'm not going to dispute that. I think Steph Curry is the best volume shooter of all time.
That's a very good way of putting it, and that speaks to the way the game has been played today and versus back then. Because when this first started, I couldn't believe like the green light. No one ever got the green light ever.
Yeah,
you had to be MJ. Magic Johnson. You had to be the upper echelon. You got to be the Durants and the LeBrons of the. You can't just be. I'm sorry. You can't. Paul George. You don't get the green light.
Yeah.
You're good, but you don't get a
Yeah.
green light. Steph was like, man, yeah. I'm like, dude, the man shooting 23s a game. I ain't never seen nobody shoot that many three-point attempts. Not that he shot 20. He shoot like, what, 15 or 14 or something like that?
Per game, I'm not sure. Yeah.
It's in certain games. I don't think it was per game. But
yeah,
even if it was 9 or 10, most, if you go and break down like Reggie Miller's numbers or Ray Allen's numbers, 3 to 5 a game.
Yeah.
Attempts. I'm not talking about mades.
No, yeah. I get what you're saying.
And I'm saying, but when these dudes put the ball
going in
every damn time, and of course it was a league when they shot actually, guess what, people? 2-pointers. Chris Paul is trying to show y'all what that looks like.
He actually talked about that after the game.
Because that's a big thing.
Well, because what he said is that we were at a time where shooting a three or shooting in the paint was literally the only thing that you could possibly do. And he said, well, if that's the case, that means that only people are going to be trying to defend that. So let me perfect the mid-range game, because if you're all focused on what's happening way up here and way down there, I got so much room to operate in the middle. And it showed in game 4 where he 37 points. I don't think he took too many shots from three or from in the paint. Like he was just operating.
No, he was tearing that little side of the free throw line
Yeah.
area. Man, he was 4 or 5 in a row, and he knocked all 5 down. I'm like, y'all actually gonna stick him and meet him at that point spot? Because that's always his spot. I'm like, but with that being said, man, CP3 took them on a clinic, man.
Get back to the East.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, though.
Always back over to the West. So anyway, what was I discussing?
The reason why the 3-point ability of Seth Curry.
Oh, and who the other person was. I told you the guy who laughed me out the room.
Yeah.
His father, Dale Curry.
Oh, Dale Curry, yeah.
Same thing, but he couldn't. The issue was the volume. He couldn't see past. Man, look how this dude is shooting. Man, he shoots 6, 7 in a row. Yo, his father would never shoot 6. He wasn't allowed.
Yeah.
Hell, Reggie Miller wasn't allowed to do that. And Reggie Miller technically had the green light to shoot and play his game, but his game wasn't to just sit there and put up 5, 6, 7, 8 3-pointers a game. He had games like that, but that was game flow.
Yeah.
That's not just, the James Hardens and the Steph Currys. Okay, you shooting at least 7 threes today.
Yeah.
It just, I could tell the game has changed so much. Now, I know people like, but they hitting them. Okay, if I can bring yesterday's defense up today, I bet he don't hit as many as you think he's gonna hit.
I mean,
but that's getting into a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But that was two players that I gave. He could not see past. You crazy. And he then brought it back up like later and see, man, you talking that now? You don't know nothing about basketball. Not saying, I've never said that he didn't shoot great. I'm like, you acting like Steph went to Davidson and learned how to shoot. His father taught him how to shoot. Are you serious, dude? I'm like, what you? Anyway, I'm done.
No, I mean,
I'm so done because like Steph Curry has put the Curry family on the map, which most people didn't even know Dale Curry even existed. And
I didn't until you introduced me to Dale Curry, and I did watch a bit of his time in Charlotte, and I mean he.
Only the number 2 scorer of all time in Charlotte that just got passed up by Kemba Walker. Just throwing that out there.
No, I think
No
that
Larry Johnson, no Alonzo Mourning.
Getting back to this series though, it's a best of 3 though, where we're at now.
Yep.
Philadelphia definitely to me has the edge, even though Atlanta got that last game.
Atlanta's doing exactly what I'm asking for. I know I wanted them to win. I said, but
I still want them to win. But I think
for a win though.
But I think that Philadelphia is going to pull this out.
They gave me everything they asking for. They made this a series. They're gonna make Philadelphia work for this. You know. So by the time they get into the next series, I just don't see Philadelphia making it to the finals, whether they win the series or not.
We'll get to that in a second because I do think there is a very real possibility that they do.
I know still. Just let you make your point. I think I know where you're going, but regardless of what's going on the other side, I don't. That doesn't. I just think that whoever pulls out of that series is going to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to
Philadelphia
it in a
is
second.
struggling a little
Yeah.
bit too much with Atlanta for me to be thinking that they can take on these other two.
But I think this is really a testament to how good and where Atlanta is at right now. Atlanta is a team that they're just a year too early. They need to figure out a couple of things on the perimeter. They need to get Trae Young another star. It can't just be Trae. He needs. I think if they try to do, hey,
man,
maybe they decide Philadelphia decides what we've been saying all year. Get Joel Embiid out of here. Trade him over to Atlanta. He might not stay healthy, but hey, I don't know what you could get back for him. But him and Trae Young, a true
man, they'd probably try to take the whole front court.
yeah.
I just can't give you all of that.
We'll figure it out. But
do you know what I did see in that game that I was just sickening?
What's up?
I mean, I want to get Nate McMillan was trying. I saw he started Tony Snell.
That did happen.
What? I get it, but I'm glad he pulled the plug on that quickly. I'm like, I'm sorry. I always spoke to I like his athleticism. The man cannot shoot to save his life. He's not a good shooter. He never has been.
A horrible shooter.
Man, I mean, it has never improved since his rookie year of me watching him in Chicago all the way to last night. I was like,
I'm starting to get the feeling that
shoot at all.
I felt like it was the only thing that you can develop is as a skill in the NBA. But as it stands now, I'm starting to feel like the opposite. I feel like it's the only thing you can't develop because with Ben Simmons, Tony Snell, there's a bunch of other kids that just like young guys that haven't been able to shoot. Like, I feel like nowadays you just
there is
can't
one
do
thing you can develop, literally, and unfortunately, it's a dying art, and it's defense. You can be taught, but it's a mentality. It's a buy-in thing.
It has to be a way that it's got to be the way that you play the game
for the most part. Because if you got somebody that is catering just to the offensive side, and they don't care who they're just not going to do it. Unfortunately, and but yeah, and I will say Tony Snell can play defense, and I think that is his one saving grace. Because
probably why he keeps getting signed.
And I'm not. This is not even. I'm going to talk about him. I'm getting on this. No, it's just I call it as I see it. He's just not he's not a very good shooter at all. No. I couldn't even say where his range begins nor ends. The man cannot shoot. I can't even tell you the last time I actually seen him hit a jump shot, like in an active game when I watched him. I have no memory of that. Like every time he shoots the ball, he misses. Every single time.
But do you have anything else on this series?
You think Curry needs a bigger role? It's the question I got.
Ooh.
It's taking everything that's been going. Yeah, they just got edged out by 3. We've seen how the momentum has swung back and forth for both teams.
Here's how I answer that question. If Joel Embiid is hobbled, then of course, yes. But if we're talking about completely healthy, I think he's doing just what he has to. I think that maybe Doc Rivers just needs to drop some plays for him specifically. But other than that, I don't think that he needs to be taking more shots. I just think it's a matter of he needs to be more efficient with the shots that he is taking.
Well, I mean, last game doesn't speak to none of that, but 7 for 10 from the field. But to my point, I'm looking at it. He's a shooting guard. He's a sharpshooter who only shoots 10 times in a league that, you know what I'm saying, in this kind of era where, like, where's your 15 to 20 attempts? I mean, but Embiid led everybody in shots.
But I'm saying if Joel Embiid is hobbled, I would like to see Seth Curry have a much larger role where he's taking 20 to 25 shots.
Well, let me say it like this. Okay, Seth Curry was 7 for 10, right?
Yeah.
Played 35 minutes.
Okay.
Ben Simmons played 36 minutes. He was 5 for 10. I have a problem with that type of stat.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? You play one less minute and y'all both shot the same, and Ben Simmons don't shoot. So that's what I was. Yeah. That's what this question came. I was like, that 7 for 10 is very deceitful. You know, I'm like, I see that, but when I'm looking at Ben Simmons, I'm like, what's going on here? You
Yeah.
know, like you're taking. It's almost like you've been given starter minutes, but you've been given just limited access to the offense. That doesn't make any damn sense when you. Here's lies the problem here,
Yeah.
but okay, I don't want to hold you. I have a lot on this game, but I'm skipping over quite a bit. I will just say Bogdanovich. Told you he's the X factor. I ain't saying, I mean, I told you like you didn't believe me. I'm telling you, I'm telling y'all that's listening, Bogdanovich is that X factor. You know, just
I agree. I think that he has a huge role with Atlanta. I think Atlanta, that was a steal to get him in this offseason in free agency. That was amazing. Like especially
I don't
that
want
he
to
was
say
tantalized with the decision of going with Atlanta or going with Milwaukee.
right.
And with everything that was happening with Milwaukee, they just got Drew Holiday. They were in a real good spot. If they got Bogdanovich, they're the favorites to win the East. And so I mean, for them to convince Bogdanovich to come over and to be that last piece last piece, they got a lot more to do, but to be that other piece in Atlanta, I am so excited for Atlanta's future.
Exactly. Because, yeah, he's that second guy now, but like we were talking about these other things, they're going to need a number two because
Yeah.
he'll be the perfect three.
Oh, God, yeah. A guy that you could just put in the corner to hit any shot at any time, just be ready.
And can put it on the floor when necessary.
Yeah.
That's what I was like.
And can run the second unit.
That guy. Right. Exactly. Because, I mean, you could put him out there and, you know, when you pair him up with a Gallinari, now we cooking
They're just
with
flowing
something here. And you got Lou Williams out there.
Mm-hmm.
See you, Rondo. I'll take Lou Williams. Lou Williams looked nice the other night. I'm like, okay, that's the new Lou Williams I know. So, yeah, I mean, they're about a player away. I don't know who. I gotta look at the free agency league.
That's the one thing that I haven't done.
Player.
I have not looked at what this offseason is going to look like free agency wise. So I'm excited to see who is available. But from what it sounds like, I mean, nobody's talking about it. So I don't know who's going to be available. So we'll see who they can try to go get. I mean, we'll probably have a whole conversation about that in the coming weeks here as the playoffs continue to roll on. But
wait a minute, I got a question. Why is Harris so one-dimensional? I mean, damn. I'm like, dude, okay, you can score. Big whoop. Yo, as big as you are out there, why don't this man can't grab no rebounds? He don't even commit him. I understand Embiid is down there, but I'm like, Shaq did not. When Shaq played, he didn't just okay. The team got 38 rebounds as a team. Shaq got 34 of them. That didn't happen, you know. Why? Like it's Embiid and nobody else. Like
I don't know. I don't get it, and that's what I've been saying. He has been grossly overpaid for what he does. He is a role player beyond all role players to me. He's great at what he does when you want him to be a scorer. But I need defense out of you, and you're not that. You're not. It's not that you're not elite at it. It's not that you're not good at it. It's just you don't commit yourself to it. Plus, again, like you said, you're not a presence in the paint either. And if you're gonna play playing my four, I'm gonna need some physicality out of you. I need you to rough somebody up a little bit.
It's almost like they're trying to take the Dallas Mavericks model, the Dirk Nowitzki Dallas Mavericks.
Please elaborate.
Dirk Nowitzki was kind of like the prototypical stretch four.
Yeah,
like the stretch four of stretch fours. But which was so interesting about it, he really wasn't a stretch four. He was just four. You know, he played up and down, but it's just the way he played. And he's Dirk's a little different than everybody else. But he's just an oversized guard. But with that being said, it's like he took on that role. Like I'm committed myself to the offensive end. I like to shoot jumpers. I will come down there and dunk the ball, or go off the glass here and there. But when I seen big men who should be down low or who play down low, and all of a sudden they just come out and they got this jump shot all of a sudden, it reminded me of it took me back to when Horace Grant did it.
Okay,
because he started out, he was just in the paint guy, scoop up the offensive rebound, put the ball back up, or maybe get a pass, fourth or fifth go around, and he get his 12-7 or 12 or
Yeah.
14-8 or whatever, and which is fine as the number 3 guy.
Yeah.
But then of course it got exploited when Jordan retired the first time in '94, and all of a sudden he just started kind of flailing out about 9-10 feet out, and he just started knocking down these jump shots. So I'm like, damn, horse crack can shoot like. And the more he got frustrated, and the further they got into the season, the more he just started committing himself to shooting more jump shots. But he was putting himself on display at the time too. He was auditioning. So I get a lot of reminiscence of Harris, and is becoming that kind of player. But my point of saying that is that kind of player does not necessarily help your team unless your 5 is like absolutely completely dominant on both ends of the floor, and you have perimeter shooting that support what this guy is doing.
They do not
which
have
they
the
do not
perimeter
have.
shooting.
No.
I think yes, Joel Embiid could be that, but again, he doesn't have the physical health abilities to be that guy. So there's that for one. But then on the other side, yeah, they don't have the shooters around. I mean, yeah, you got Seth Curry, and
Exactly.
I don't. It's not there, and that's my issue with Philadelphia. Is like you guys had the perfect opportunity this season. If you wanted to do what you said you wanted to do, and we got 2 stars, let's go with them. Let's run them, and let's see what we can do with them. All right, let's put the pieces around them to make that work. No, we're gonna give all the money in the world to Tobias Harris. We're gonna trade away, or I don't know if he traded away. They cut him. Al Horford, and now they've got that dead cap space to deal with. And now we got Seth Curry. We got him. We've already gotten rid of JJ Redick, who I think would have been really good if he.
No, Seth Curry replaced him. One Duke player for the next. They should have kept them both. I understand, but that's what I'm saying. He just became a replacement for him. What I don't understand is why why not play to your strengths? Case in point, you really got to expand this bench. Shake Milton got to play more than 15 minutes a game.
He's got to be good enough to play more than 15 minutes a game. That's the other side of it.
Yesterday. I mean,
I mean, I get that, but I mean, on a I need some consistency out of the bench because I'm sorry, I have an issue with I can have a game where Shake Milton takes over and he's a star and he won us the game, and then the very next time I put you out there, you just completely disappeared. Like I need some consistency.
It's kind of hard to shine with 7 minutes a game.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? I know
that.
some you got to take advantage of the time you have. And
yeah.
Some players, I'm sorry, their volume, they got to be out there for a while. Unfortunately,
But I mean, we're in crunch time. This is desperation mode. It's a 2-2 series. It's a best of 3 right now. You got to go out and you got to finish and play. Like I can't give you time to warm up. If you're not gonna come out here and be ready when it's time, when that horn sounds and we're ready to start playing the game, I need you to be ready.
Well, it's safe to say between Harris and B, Simmons and Curry, they ain't going anywhere. They're gonna get their minutes no matter what. But
True.
That leaves one spot open, and that is it. That is y'all window for the bench. And I'm speaking this to the Shake Miltons, to the Dwight Howards, because
Matisse Thybulle.
And I was here's my third one. And I was about to bring them 3 up simply because, and I said Dwight Howard specifically.
Yeah.
You didn't bring him over here just to be bringing him over
True.
here. And Dwight Howard is not, quote unquote, washed up. He looks like it at times, but damn, if you're only going to play the man a handful of minutes.
Especially when you have a hobbled Joel Embiid.
And you're not even committing or running any plays through this guy. Okay, you asking Dwight Howard to do what? Something he's never done before? Which is what?
Be a body.
Figure it out. No. That's the other thing. Like you said, and Embiid is hobbled. This is the time to infuse this guy into the game.
Yeah. I mean, he was a big role of the Lakers run.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, I don't see too much of a drop off in his game from last year to this year.
And the man, if they really wanted to go big, they could put Howard at the 4, and you could just stick Tobias Harris to the 3. But then you can put Ben Simmons at the 1, and you still got Curry at the 2. I'm throwing it out there.
But you want to go all defense, but Matisse Thybulle in for Seth Curry.
Yeah, but then they ain't got no shooting. Ben Simmons can't shoot.
They can't shoot anyway.
But Ben Simmons can't. No.
You can do that when Tobias Harris gets hot.
No, I understand. Ben Simmons can't shoot well. Tony Snell can't shoot. There's a difference. I really had to preface that. If that makes any sense.
I completely forgot about Tony Snell. You just had to bring him.
You can never forget. He played in this game. I'm like, how did we're on the same series?
Played, a minute?
You've been trying to move off. You've been trying to move off this series.
He got fired in real time.
Did he? Wait a minute. No, he played 8 minutes. Stop. I was about to say, wait a minute. He played more than a minute. Okay. All right. My notes are fine. We can move on if you want to move on. It was a very good series. It was so much I took out of it. I think I have more notes in this game than any of the other games.
Okay. So, I mean, if you got anything else, bring it up because I mean, we got to talk about Milwaukee and Brooklyn, but we got some time.
I want to give Capella his flowers. Put up another solid double in a win.
Okay.
Well, he probably get a double and probably most wins they get. I'm up here making connections. He get a double, they win. But he put up a solid 12 points, 13 rebounds, 6 for 9 from the field. Embiid 4 for 20, 0 for 12 in the second half. I have to throw that out there. Quinn Capella, along with swarming defenses and defensive help that he got from his teammates, they was able to slow Embiid down enough to come back, get the lead, hold on to it, and then just hold on to the game and run out of there with a game 4 win. I already talked about Bogdanovich. Like I said, he is the X factor. Trae Young truly is, but you know what?
If Trae Young is doing it,
besides Trae Young, there's Bogdanovich. Trae Young, 25 points, 18 assists. That dude.
I agree.
Did you see that big hunk of metal that was on his shoulder? I think it was an ice block.
No, I think they put one of those heat packs on him because they were talking. I don't know what's going on.
From NASA? Like that thing was huge.
Yeah,
I'm like, what's wrong with his arm?
We actually have a huge ice block. I'll show it to you. We got one of those big ones.
I walked out the room. I came back and he was just sitting. I'm like, what did I miss? Like, what happened to him? And he's sitting there looking normal. I'm like, what's wrong with his shoulder? I didn't even know he had a shoulder injury.
I didn't know either. And the fact that he's been doing what he's been doing
with
his shoulder.
Hot? They just need to keep warm. I mean, I don't know. What are they doing? It gotta be wild now.
Yeah. No, let's wrap this up. Who do you got? Just predictions for this series. Who's going to the finals?
In the East?
The conference finals. Out of this series. This is a tough one to pick. I don't know.
Since it's 2-2 and it's all tied up anyway again, damn it, I'm going Atlanta in 7. I don't care. Until Atlanta gets eliminated, Atlanta's my team.
I'm rooting for Atlanta. I want to see Atlanta go, but I got to take Philly in 7.
Why you got to do that?
I do.
Take the real tick. Don't go.
I like them.
I see how they playing. They play good. They're the number 1 seed. I know you didn't say that.
No. It's not about that. I just think that Atlanta's just a year too early, but I love what they're doing. I love the way that they're playing. If they win, I'm not going to be shocked, but I'm taking Philly just because I think that Atlanta's just a year too early. It's too close, and when you gotta. And I'm saying this in the context that Joel Embiid is healthy enough to play in Game 5. If that's not the case, then I'm going Atlanta. But if Joel Embiid's healthy, I just think that the way that he's been playing and taking over this series, I don't think there's anything that they can do to really stop what Philadelphia has been doing to him. And it is not a shot at Atlanta. I just think that they just don't have enough yet. I think they need another guy.
Okay, and that's true. Okay, that's fair. So you got him in 6, got him in 7.
I'll say 7.
So you got Philly in 7, and I got the Hawks in 7. Let's go. You said
watch,
6.
And watch Atlanta win in 6.
Both be wrong.
I'll be happy about it too. No, let's get to the other side of it. Let's wrap this up. Yep. Milwaukee, Brooklyn, 2-2 series. Not what we expected after last podcast and last conversation.
We
Wow.
sound like fools if anybody go back and
I
listen to our
sound like
stuff.
an idiot.
I listened to the whole thing today. I had to
Yeah.
re-listen. I was just like, wow, that was.
What did I say about Khris Middleton?
What didn't you say about Khris Middleton? I'm sorry, he's a bum. I'm sorry, he sucks. I'm sorry, he's bad. I'm sorry, he. You were sorry about a lot of things with him, but yeah, he showed you.
He must have heard our podcast.
He must have heard.
Hey, Khris Middleton, put us out there if you're going to be responding to me like that.
You know, I'm like, he responded to you specifically, like, oh, got you, bro. Got you on the road. No, they weren't on the road. They were
Shut my mouth real quick.
But
not in game 3 though, game 4.
No, he shut your mouth. He did exactly what I said he does. I said he's not. Like you said, at best you say he's a 4. I'm not.
That was hyperbolic.
I'm not disputing none of that. I'm stating what it was said. So I can say what I had to say. But everyone who did not listen to episode 30.
Yeah, 30.
So, but with that, it's I might lose my train of thought. We talking about Middleton. But that he's he doesn't bring it every night. It's like I said he's a 3 at best.
Yeah.
I never said he was a 4. I just said at best.
Yeah.
Meaning his game looks like a 5 and a 6 some nights, but then other nights he looks like a 3, and then other nights he looks like the 2. Some nights he's the 1. It's just. You know what? When you take all of that into consideration, he's a very safe number 3. People, that's the best place for him. He's not, but again, he play. Oh my God, he played insane in game 4.
No, and
I thought about you the whole time when I watched it. I was just like, man, I hope you not watching this.
No, because I did watch it. I did.
Shame.
No, because I don't even think we're wrong in that sense. Because honestly,
I wasn't wrong.
I don't think I was wrong.
Your take was not correct. That's all I'm saying. It was incorrect.
Yes, Khris Middleton showed up in these last last game.
You wasn't wrong, but your take was incorrect.
Listen, let me talk.
Okay.
I have an issue with the way that people are talking about Milwaukee, because this is not the way Milwaukee should be winning this series. Because for all that's been going on, I don't know who's got who favored in this series. I mean, I really think we needed to watch Game 5 to see how KD responds by himself, if that is what the case is. I know that there's a conversation that James Harden's going to be out there, but if James Harden's out there, he is a fraction of what James Harden actually is. So again, I to me, that is KD by himself.
Does he come up lame somewhere in the midst of the game?
Exactly.
We don't know.
So to me, I think that the smart thing to do is just to sit James Harden for this game. Don't play him. Let him rest a little bit more. If he is close to being ready, then just get ready to play him in Game 6. Because in all honesty, even though this is a really important game as it is Game 5, and there's some percentage of, I think it's like an 80+% of whoever wins Game 5 in a tied series goes on to win the series.
Mm-hmm.
But even with that being the case, you're looking at a injured Brooklyn team, and they don't have the pieces around KD by himself to go win the series. And I know we talked about it last week. Injuries are a part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, this isn't the way Milwaukee wants to win the series. I don't think this changes the questions that we have about Milwaukee coming out of this series.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, you guys. The only reason why you came back, they had a bad Game 3, which I actually thought Milwaukee was going to win Game 3. I didn't think it was going to be in an 86-83 game. And we talked about it after that game. Mm-hmm. That changed nothing for me when it came to that series, because you almost lost a game where the shot percentage from Brooklyn and Kyrie, they were completely absent the entire game. Like they couldn't have anything fall, and that wasn't going to happen again.
Right.
So after Game 3, going into Game 4, I said, I honestly, I think we're coming out of this 3-1. Brooklyn's going to come out of this 3-1, mm-hmm. and they're going to go back and probably wrap this up in 5. But yes, Kyrie ends up going down early, and that completely changes things. So, and they try to run Steve Nash said it himself. He was like, we did not have a game plan for not having Kyrie. Like, when it came down to it, for some reason, we weren't able to adjust and to stop saying, just give it to KD and let's see what he can do with it.
Steve Nash be fired for this. For making even sharing such a view. That seems negligent to me.
Did you hear that?
I didn't hear it. Just hearing you say that, like, really, Steve Nash?
I mean, I don't think it's a fireable offense. I think
if this is the NFL, he'd been gone. I'm just saying.
I
took it from a football standpoint. Like, it's just something.
This isn't football. This isn't NFL. It's NBA.
I know. That's the problem. And but with that, it's that kind of philosophy as to how I can see how you lost. You couldn't make this proper adjustment in real time, and there's gonna be some other numbers I'm gonna dive into specifically just to show it, just put a spotlight on some of what you're saying.
Yeah, good, because to me, like, I don't think that this still, even with them winning games 3 and 4, it hasn't changed my view on Milwaukee themselves. They're not ready to win a title. And yes, you might win this series. I still think Brooklyn can pull this out, even with just KD. Like, if
no, I'm gonna stop you right there. I don't that I don't believe. I'm gonna let you finish your take. I just wanted to just interject quickly. I don't believe it.
We'll see tonight.
I have to get into why I don't believe it. There's some other things I'm gonna get into as to why I'm saying it. It's not even to be opposed. It's just I seen something. I'm like, I'm sorry, KD's not enough for what they need to do to win. And it's not so much about what KD is, it's about the rest of them. And that's the stuff.
And that's fair. And at the end of the day, even if Milwaukee wins this, Brooklyn's still favored to win. So that's one thing, even with both of them being out. James Harden and Kyrie, that is. But at the end of the day, even if Milwaukee overcomes that and wins this series, that's not the way that you can really kind of judge and gauge how good this team is, because they were so bad in games 1 and 2. And at the end of the day, they didn't really change too much. They didn't play too much differently in games 3 and 4. It's just a matter of, okay, Brooklyn just came out on a bad night in game 3, which I actually said that's exactly what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Brooklyn was going to come out slow. I didn't think it was going to be 83-86, but I thought it was going to be probably 115-110 in Milwaukee's favor, where just Brooklyn just didn't have it that night. They couldn't finish it out. Milwaukee gets one, gentleman sweep, and that we were right on that trajectory until game 4, and now we're losing another star in Kyrie. That does change things a bit, but to me, that doesn't change how Giannis and Khris Middleton and Drew Holiday and the rest of this Milwaukee team going into this series, like, you guys haven't changed anything. You haven't proven anything to me from game 2.
Well, I think PJ Tucker did.
That is true. PJ Tucker has been a huge upgrade, and not an upgrade. He's been a huge catalyst for these last 2 wins.
Yes. And you said you did make mention that he needed to hit the boards more. He did that.
Yep.
Put up 7 nice rebounds. How tall is he? He looks very small.
Yeah, he's an undersized 4.
He's a 4?
I think so.
Oh my God, he is listed as. See, I don't even know how to. Cause they got Khris Middleton listed as a 3. So I don't know if that's just something that they put down.
Because they have Giannis at the 4, I think.
They got him as a power forward.
Yeah.
They got PJ Tucker as a power forward, and they got a small forward, and then they don't have no guards.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Drew Holiday is the only guard.
I would think PJ Tucker was the other guard, technically. I mean, one, his size. 2, what he was doing. He was the only one out there shooting like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's anyway. That's neither here nor there. It's man. Did you see PJ Tucker? That's all. My goodness. Just his defensive prowess. It just the energy.
I think that was huge in game 4. The way that he played in game 4 to not shut down KD by any means, but to be a physical presence on him, to make him uncomfortable. Like I said, that's exactly what they needed to do with Trae Young. He's literally. I think you're gonna like this comparison. He is LeBron's Lance Stevenson.
I like that. Yes. Yeah, he did remind me of last time.
Just a pesky dude. He's not blowing in his ear or anything like that, but he's always on you. He's not going to let you have any time by yourself.
Right.
He's not going to let you just zone in. He's not going to let you lock in. He's going to be right there, right next to you all game.
Yep.
And that's huge. Just having a guy that's able to do that, to get under somebody's skin that way, that's huge. It's in the playoffs. That's massive.
Yeah. Now, to build off of that, they're gonna have to be careful tonight, because he did come out of there with 5 fouls.
Mm-hmm.
You know how fast he can rack those up in Brooklyn. Come tonight, he try to get super physical. I'm like,
Especially if KD wants to drive.
Proceed with caution tonight. That's all I'm saying. Be ready to switch. PJ Tucker is not going to necessarily be able to solely stay on this guy. Do not fall into the trap of just, we're going to ISO ball and we're going to throw him, our defender, on it. Don't play into this.
Yeah.
Because that is the disaster. A recipe for another 40-point blowout tonight, but based on one guy. Because I will say, I don't think KD can win the series by himself, but I do think he can win Game 5 by himself if need be.
I think he can win Game 5 by himself, but I don't think he needs to win the series by himself. Like I said, if Kyrie and James Harden, we're saying they're out for the rest of this series. If that's the case, I think he can get it done with Joe Harris.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Now we can get into this. Okay, maybe. And I'm going to say maybe. I'm not going to say no. But after what I've seen in Game 4, which this is my thing. Okay, so Kyrie Irving, he plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just set it up. So Kyrie Irving plays. We seen what happened. He came down on Giannis's foot wrong.
Yep.
You know, I don't think Giannis did anything malicious. He just slid over. Wasn't even looking down.
He was honestly trying to just box him out.
Yeah, he was looking up there, literally at the basket. Though.
I don't think he even saw that he went down.
First of all, it was Kyrie, what are you doing down there anyway? It's kind of one of as a big man, he ain't even paying attention to him there. Like, he just kind of looked over like, well, who's falling on me? Little flea, in comparison, the man looks so small. Kyrie is not a small guy, but
is he 6'4"?
No, I think like 6'2".
Okay.
At 6'3" at the most. I'm really stretching it. 6'4"? I don't think so.
No, you're right, 6'2".
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He just looks taller to me. I don't know why.
Because Jason Kidd was like 6'4".
Really?
Yeah, he's a pretty big guy.
I thought J Kidd was smaller. Okay, before my time.
Him and Gary Payton was like both 6'4".
I know Gary Payton was tall. I didn't know that.
These tall guards. That's why he was able to get triple double so much. Which, of course, not saying anything when you see a Russell Westbrook. Whatever. I can make it sound like nothing.
Yeah.
But it was just unheard of in the night. It wasn't like no guard doing that in the 90s, let alone a point guard.
Yeah.
But moving on. Okay, so he goes. So this finally happened. Was the second quarter, right?
I think so. It was earlier in the game. Yeah.
With that being said, Kyrie Irving's stat line: 17 points. I know you're like, what are you talking about? Something else. I'm getting there. 17 points. He had he's 17 minutes. I'm sorry, 17. He played 17 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that for a reason. Remember his minutes played. He got 11 points, 5 rebounds, and he shot 5 from 11 from the field. Cool? You got that?
I got it.
Got that line. All right. Now just scroll over there and look at Blake Griffin and Joe Harris.
Yes.
Joe Harris, 38 minutes. Blake Griffin, 25 minutes. 3 for 8.
Both of them.
Hold the hell up. You telling me you played 38 minutes to this man's 17 and you shot 3 less time? That was glaring at me. I'm like, okay, we got to. I understand they're like, no, Durant was shooting. Durant's one person.
Yeah.
Unless you're telling me Durant took all the shots the rest of the way, I don't want to hear that. And I know that's not what happened.
It's not.
He disappeared. And that's something I don't understand. Like, okay, you played twice as long and shot damn near half as less. Yeah. Almost. And I'm speaking to you. When Joe Harris stepped up, I don't know if this guy's going to be the guy that's going to do it. That's what I was getting from this. And then I look at Blake Griffin, even worse.
Yeah.
There is no other big man. I'm like, why the hell are you only playing 25 minutes? And this is the other glaring stat that I can't understand. You only have 1 foul. So it's not like you were in foul trouble. That's 3 for 8 from the field. You shot 1 for 4 from the 3-point line, which doesn't matter to me. But 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 25 minutes.
I don't like that he's taking 4 shots from the 3-point line.
I don't either. However, that was, I mean, that contributes to the 3 for 8.
Yeah.
It just they didn't. I mean, it's I don't know if they not committing to him. He doesn't have his confidence. But the point being, Griffin and Harris. Go ahead. I'll let you take it. But
Relax.
I want to give
First
you that.
off.
No, I don't want to relax because that shooting line alone is the problem.
And it is. And that everybody has bad games, and that's fine. And I'm speaking to Joe Harris, not Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin, I don't know what the hell that was in Game 4, but you also have to keep in mind, I don't think we're ever going to see Durant go 1 for 8 for 3 again. So
we could have got to all that, but I mean,
but
no,
it's good, because at that point you're looking at 11-point difference that already closes it. I mean, just say he gets to 50%, that's another 9 points right there. They're only down by 3.
Yeah, but if you've seen the shots that he were taking, and he was forcing a lot of things, and that was a lot of that 1 for 8. It wasn't him just shooting regular. And you could say, well, if he just they run their plays and he spots up, he already tried that and it got into him to a frenzy. He was just forcing shots up.
But that's just the first thing. I don't think he's going to have that bad of a shooting night again this series, especially if he's locking in to be the guy. 2,
possibly not.
Joe Harris, I don't think he's going to have that bad of a game from the field. Again, I think he is going to take his role a lot more seriously, and I think he's definitely going to be that volume guy in the second in the entire
I don't
game.
think it was a bad game. It wasn't enough. I mean,
it wasn't efficient, and I think that they're going to be a much more
efficient
efficient team.
At. Like
I don't know who's
going to
be.
Like, what are you doing out there?
Who's running the offense. I don't know who's going to be bringing the ball up, and I think that's going to be the biggest catalyst.
Right.
But outside of that, if they can find a way to get into their rhythm where they are first scoring option KD, second scoring option Joe Harris, if they can just find a way to get to that point, they'll be just fine. But you're right. It's going to come down to figuring it out as to who is going to be that guy, who is going to be the guy who runs the offense. Is KD going to be a point forward this game? Or is Joe Harris going to be the primary ball handler? Or are you going to have to bring in James, maybe? I don't know. I don't even know who would be the next guard to come up.
Chioza?
Yeah, I don't know. But
I don't think it'd be neither one of them.
Yeah, I think it would be Joe Harris. I think they'd put Joe Harris at the 1, and he's going to run the offense. Even though, yes, he is a forward, but everybody plays every position anyway.
I guess what I'm seeing, I think more so, it's like say that those two are out. I think they're going to insert Jeff Green into the starting lineup. And to your point, and then they can move Joe Harris if they want to move him to the guard.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Brown. He might be that might be the guy you actually want to bring the ball up.
Maybe. I don't know.
So he don't have to shoot so much.
But he don't shoot so much. Regardless, whoever it is, whoever can initiate the offense, as long as you're 50% effective at the point guard position, as long as you can get the ball to the center court line, because if you can do that, get the ball to KD and he can run the offense. He just can't bring it all the way up the floor.
We'll see. It might work to his favor, but if it's anything like the last game, it was just KD really trying to do his best. And
I don't think it's going to be that, because I think they're going to go ahead. They're going to play through KD for sure. I think KD's going to have a huge game tonight, but I think Joe Harris is going to play a lot better. Blake Griffin, he does need to step up, and whether he's in the starting lineup or if he's coming off the bench, I don't know.
He's in the starting lineup. He has to be that guy, but
yeah.
I mean,
all he has to do is be the 3. You don't need to be. You don't need to play hero ball. You don't need to be taking 4 shots from the 3-point line. Like at most 2. But you got to be wide open.
He shot his 3s better than Durant. You better call this right.
Again,
I'm kidding.
Kevin Durant is not going to have that type of night ever again.
Blake Griffin outshot Durant from the 3-point line. I said it now. Check the stat line.
So that's where I'm at with it. I just don't think that we're not gonna look at anything like that.
We'll see. However, I got the magnifying glass on Harris and Griffin.
If they don't show up, you're right.
I'm sitting here on the couch with my arms folded. Yep. I want to see how you all can undershoot a player that only played less than half the game.
Yeah.
Where the hell was y'all at? You know,
You're right about that. And if that's the case, you're completely
that
right
was the
about
stat
that.
that
But
just I was looked at. I'm like, I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I'm like, okay, I guess I just wasn't really realizing what y'all was doing out there, which was nothing. You were just standing around, you know. And but I think I was caught up like everybody else watching the debacle of Durant on national television. I'm like, look, that dude looks horrible
exactly.
out right now.
and he used 9 for 25 from the field. So
Yeah.
both of those, I don't think that's going to happen at
No,
all.
and of course you're gonna get the star calls that he was looking for in the other game, and which maybe a play or two, yes, but
Plus, he's going to be at home.
that's what I was getting at. A play or two maybe a call should have went his way, but he was really trying to initiate a lot of nonsense.
That's one of the issues that I do have with the league right now. There's a lot of guys that are just looking. They literally, what they're trying to do is draw fouls, and I'm like, can we play basketball, please?
Right.
That's the only issue that I have really right now in the playoffs anyway.
Like how the NFL is, where you got the defensive, the offensive player, or the coaches and the coaches that let's get a penalty drafted up so we can go down the field. No, how about we don't do that no more? We need to change that rule too. Because how about you actually make a play and then we can move down the field, as opposed to you just gonna penalize yourself down 100 yards.
I think
we're moving.
Let me not get into that because I do have a take on the pass interference call.
That's because no. That's what I'm saying. I don't try to cross sports too much because we do that. We just go down a rabbit hole.
I will.
I couldn't find a
you
better.
You can't do that to me with the NFL.
I couldn't find a better basketball analogy. So, but it makes sense. Yeah. It's the equivalency to what they doing in the NFL when they do that.
I don't like it, and that needs to stop. But regardless, like I said, I think that. You don't think that KD can do it. I think that he can. But I think this is really going to show.
Not for the next 3 games. I don't.
This is going to show if KD's the real deal, though. Because this is going to be the time where you don't have anybody else.
That's part of it. The only other component I got to see how they call in the game.
As long as it's. I mean, right.
Because if you blow on them or you stare at them too long and they blow the whistle, okay, I know what kind of night this is.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is just at the end of the day, if he's able, even if they lose the series, but if he takes over and he's keeping it close and he's really making it a fight, that'll show me how good he really is, as opposed to, oh, we're just going to cruise past any team just because we literally have 3 potential Hall of Famers. So that I think this is gonna be able to show a little bit of KD's legacy right here. This is gonna be a good barometer for what's been happening over the last 3 seasons.
This is it. This is the big one now, and I'm very.
It's big one versus big one too.
Yeah.
I yes, Giannis has a better supporting cast as it stands right now, but hey.
Hey, you really don't get Middleton. He ain't even on the scale. He said they 2 versus 1. He said 1 versus 1.
And with that being said, let's wrap this up today. I'm not going to go down my rabbit hole, Khris Middleton.
Because I got a couple more points on this, and I'm done. It won't even be. So remember, listen to the hot takes last week. Told you Giannis needed to have 40 points and 20 rebounds, and he sat here and embarrassed me the way he did. Oh my gosh! And you gonna sit here and gonna put out some 34 and 12 and win?
I said it. 15.
Oh, he needed 15 rebounds. He needed 1 more rebound, and they won. I'm like, you think 4 more rebounds, 1 rebound? That's a hot take for a hot take. And this is why I don't get down with the NBA. Y'all you just skew all my analytics. Like,
that's hilarious.
I couldn't have been more sure on the take.
Yeah, you were in on that one.
I had broke the numbers. I broke it down. I had really did my research. And now I feel like these ESPN analysts, what in the hell is you talking about? Crazy stat numbers you coming up with, because, it speaks to this irky jerk, back and forth, hot, cold, good, bad, on, off NBA.
But I will say, I will give you that. Yes, there is some herky jerkiness going on, but it also did come down to, because we were still talking about if Khris Middleton can show up and put up 20, and he did, 19. But he was able to be efficient. He was 48% from the field, 7 for 15,
damn,
3 from 8 from the field, or from 3-point line. He's doing what he needs to do. He got 4 rebounds when he had, I think, 1 that game. Like completely different in 8 assists. Like he definitely turned that around. Game 4, Khris Middleton showed up. Rest of them still remains to be seen. So we'll see what Khris Middleton's all
What's up
about
with Drew
coming up.
Holiday, man? Goodness. I mean, he's putting up okay numbers, but
Yeah, ever since I put out that stat of him being the plus minus stat of him, he's completely disappeared. So I don't know what's going on with him.
Not
Drew
supposed
Holiday
to
is
speak about it.
Yeah.
You're just supposed to let it happen.
I got to start living in the moment and just admiring what I'm watching and not have to call it out so much.
Right. And shout out to Brian Forbes, man.
Yeah, Brent Forbes, he's definitely.
He just keeps showing how to get it. Like he's like I scored 5, scored 10, put up another 10. You know,
one rebound, one assist. He's out there playmaking. He got an assist on the.
He's strictly in there for offense. That's
yeah.
That's just call it what it is. Because I know we keep going through the rest of his line.
I would like to see him a little bit more efficient.
Right.
Okay, I mean you're 2 for 6 from field, and did he only shoot 3-pointers then?
Yeah. And 4 free throws.
Yeah.
He hit 4 free throws, but
he's 4 for 5 for free throws.
The key stat that I'm looking at in the midst of all these numbers, look at his minutes.
Yeah, only 13 minutes.
Dude, you know how efficient that is to do? I'm talking about just what he does in a very small burst of time. You know,
yeah,
that's what which I was saying. These other guys, like we were talking about some of these guys off the bench. I'm like, some of these other guys, they can't do it in 13 minutes. They got the half. They need 25 plus minutes a game to even put up 10. You know, it's just in the way of how they play the game or how the game flows to them. This guy, I mean, I don't know if they gave him the quote unquote green light off the bench to you just go out there and just fire it up, but he's the man. That is the only Connaughton,
Pat Connaughton,
Forbes and Connaughton. That's their bench. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're literally running with a 7-man rotation and throwing in Thanasis a couple of times. Bobby Portis, get out of here.
Right.
So yeah, I mean I agree.
Portis. I'm sorry. It's time. It's,
all right.
It's almost like like Lord of the Rings at the end.
Watch Bobby Portis go off
time.
for a huge game in Game 5.
It's time. He's about to get on the ship. And he's about to sail off into Never Land. I don't know where the hell they went. You're done, sir. I'm like, that dude. Because you asked the question last week, which I remembered. You said, why did Bobby Portis get so much player time? And I listened to this video and I didn't say anything. I didn't have an answer to that. I don't even know how to answer. Okay, I watched Game 4. And the question came up again, and I guess my response, not necessarily my answer, was, "Yeah, why is he playing so many minutes?"
I don't get what.
He's horrible. My voice was not supposed to do that. But he is hot garbage. The way you talked about Middleton, why didn't you save all that venom for this guy? I know he
because I don't have
much
exactly.
But the fact that he even wanted to even muster 12 minutes of just nonsense, like what, dude?
0 for 3 from the
he's
field.
Just offers. I mean, I guess I could sit there and be like, man, the dude did get 2 blocks. Like
he got a rebound and an assist.
No, those don't count. No, I'm sorry. You got the offensive rebound. He passed.
How'd you pick up 2 fouls in 12 minutes?
Hit it. That's how he got his rebound. Come on. I mean, no, he had a defensive rebound.
Well,
I don't even know what he did. But it doesn't even matter, man. He actually shot a 3. How dare him? Anyway, I wasn't even. Yeah, the Bobby Porter thing. But yeah, I just thought Giannis 40-20 was gonna have to be a staple, But I guess when you take Kyrie Irving and falls out of the game, all bets are off anyway. I guess
it's a different series now.
34 and 12.
With that being said, in this series, who do you got?
Hot take. Milwaukee in 6.
Oh.
I told
Milwaukee
you.
wins tonight on Thursday.
Let me tonight is Tuesday. Yeah, they should be playing Thursday. Now, I'm prefacing this. If it's just KD tonight, yes.
KD hobbled Harden.
Yes.
Milwaukee in 6.
No. I said Milwaukee in 6 if it's just KD.
Okay.
A hobbled Harden. I'm taking Milwaukee in 7.
Okay.
I
can
got
do
Milwaukee for
in
the
7.
series. But if
Yeah.
it's just KD, I just don't.
You don't see them winning tonight with just KD.
No. Because you got to. The question, we talked about it for the last 15 minutes. Who else is? I know you said Joe Harris. You still want to talk about that some more? Because I'm like, dude, I can take.
I said what I got to say about Joe Harris.
I thought you had something negative. That wasn't enough for me. I'm like,
okay. Well,
now he could. I see where you're going. I just don't. What I'm saying is, I don't think that's gonna happen tonight. Could it happen? Sure. I just don't think it will. After what I've seen the other night, I'm like,
I'm saying regardless, Milwaukee in 7, and I'm taking Brooklyn tonight.
Okay.
I think
Brooklyn tonight.
Yeah, I think that KD is gonna have an insane game. It might be due to the referees giving him every call and them being at home, and he gets those star calls. It might be that. But I just see KD having an insane game tonight that nobody's going to stop. And then from then on, because I don't think Harden is ready to come back. So if he does come back tonight, I think he's going to get re-injured. And then there's no way Kyrie is coming off of a low ankle sprain and coming back for this series. So from there, those last 2 games, game 6 and 7, I'm giving it to Milwaukee. They get one at home, and then game 7, anything can happen. But I think without Kyrie and without Harden, it's going to come down to Milwaukee in game 7, and I think Giannis is going to have that. That's what's going to put Giannis on the map to be, he's more than what we thought.
That's fair. I think our differences are coming up with just tonight's game.
Yeah.
And that's fine. We have different takes, and which makes it much interesting, because your perspective is very interesting. I'm like, I can see that. I'm not siding with it, but I can see that. I'm just not. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I'm not saying I want to either, because I do want Milwaukee to win the series, because I'm tired of seeing super teams in the conference finals and the NBA finals. I'm done with it.
Talking about. You noticed the debut game, right?
Of
DeAndre Jordan. Don't roll your eyes. I had built that up.
So let's. You actually, do you have a question of the day?
Thank you for reminding me of that. A whole nother page. Well, I'll start with that. My second official got that dog award.
Okay.
Last week was run by Luka Doncic. If anybody was cared to remember, Luka just lit it up in the Clippers series in the first round. Dude, I mean, I could let him got that dog for the rest of the playoffs just on his playoff performance in that one round.
He's insane.
He's
the future of this league, and I can't stress that enough. Luka is the future of this league.
We're gonna see when I get to my question of the day.
Okay.
Remember you said that. Okay. So this week, who do I have as that got that dog award? Well, I'm not doing any runner-ups this week. It's just not necessary.
Well, if that's the case, then there's only 2 people to choose from here. So let's see where this is going.
Well, I mean, if I had to do a runner-up, I mean,
No, you don't have to. Just get to it.
Because I could have did the little.
No,
I'd like to build it up. But anyway, okay. Got that dog award is being shared this week. Not unfortunately, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Come on, people. Y'all know. Chris Paul and Devin Booker.
Okay.
Combined.
That's fair.
In these 10 games that they played. I know that I'm in, but I use the 10 games because they virtually just the whole entire damn playoffs. They have just been there. But check this out. Chris Paul is 51% from the field. He's 44% from the 3-point line. 15.7 points, 8.7 assists, 4.1 rebounds, and 1.2 steals.
Most of that with a hobbled shoulder.
Thank you. Devin Booker as the number 2. I'm doing quotation. I'm just being playful. In his 10 games, he is 49% from the field, 38% from the 3-point line. It's just his percentage. 27.9 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 4.8 assists. Them two combined have been that backcourt has been insane.
Okay.
I mean, there are some more worthy people. Yes, there are, but everybody's gonna take their turn because the people I had to turn away last week just for Luca, and I'm saying just for Luca, and Luca killed it. But
Yeah.
man, they are putting up some astronomical numbers out here.
Yeah.
I ain't used to seeing this in my NBA.
Yeah.
They're like this stuff is like whoa, but the part like what I was getting like for Luca, it looks so freaking impressive and effortless.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this dude didn't have to shoot 80 times to get 40 points. You know, like,
Yeah.
think about it. But that, you know what I'm saying? It takes all of that just to get it. But no, he's playing quite well. So those are my two for the Got That Dog Award. Now, my question of the day, so we can correct this out of here. Remember what you said, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. Have Euro players caught up to the NBA competition level, or has the NBA rule changes made the league Euro friendly?
Hmm.
You need me to repeat it?
No, I got it.
Long questions.
It's rather the NBA is catering towards Euro players.
Let me preference this. MVP, Jokic. Defensive Player of the Year, Gobert.
Yeah, from France.
Just throwing this out here. So, in light of Got That Dog Award,
Yeah,
Luca. Like I put it up there with the MVP. But I mean, just solid. Bogdanovich, X Factor. I could do this all night.
No, I did.
These Euro players have just kind of, I'm seeing something I've never seen before. So that's my question comes in that context.
I guess you could say that the NBA has catered towards it because it's not really as focused on defense, and these Euro players have like an offensive prowess that's just insane.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think it's just a different game. So I think that, I guess that technically would say that, but I do think that offensively, yes, Euro players have definitely caught up to the NBA game. The way Luka plays, I don't think is any softer than what we've seen in the past. Going back to the 2000s, he just plays in such a aggressive manner on the offensive side of the ball. Like you said, he's got that dog in him. Like he does not care. He's going to go at you regardless of who you are, whether you're Joel Embiid, whether you're Kawhi Leonard, whether you're Paul George. He does not care. He has no fear. Gobert, I'm going to guard Marcus Morris on the 3-point line for the game-winning shot.
Right.
Like, does not care about that. It's we're going to play our game, and if that ends up with us winning these awards, now Jokic, I'm not questioning his MVP because I do think that he deserved it. Mm-hmm. I just think this is a weird year, so I want to see how he responds next year, especially with having Jamal Murray come back.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only Euro player that's hot right now that I'm questioning. Bogdanovich, Bobby, even Bobby from Dallas, the big guy.
Are they related by any chance?
No, none of them are related. Yes,
they're just related. No, I mean they had the exact last name. I'm like, okay, are they brothers?
No, and that's was a question a lot of people had.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they're not related, but yeah, even that one too in Utah. Like all of these guys that are these Euro guys that are just playing fantastic right now. I just think that they have the mentality that this game caters towards offense. I've been playing offense my entire life. I'm not going to stop, and I'm not going to be scared of you at any point. And that's not a shot at the American players at all. Mm-hmm. I just think, yes, they've caught up, and they can play offensively that way for sure. And some of them, like Gobert, can play defensively that way. Sometimes Jokic, and I'm waiting to see how Luka responds and how he changes, and hopefully he progresses in his offensive game. So that's my take.
Okay, that's fair. I wasn't gonna. I'm just giving a question now. So I will answer the question on our next show.
Okay.
So, but I will put this one out. I did put the other question. I put it out so late.
Yeah, the show went up late last week, so I understand.
Yeah,
but it did go out on Twitter. got a couple of responses, but we'll see. We'll put it out on Twitter. It'll be out on the YouTube page as well. So definitely go check those out. And yeah, I mean, let's wrap up today's show.
Yes.
I want to thank you guys for listening. This has been a kind of a longer one, actually. Yeah, we're cruising.
I had a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, I mean, this is the playoffs. This is the time to get it out. So, especially with you just getting back into the NBA, this is huge. Yeah. So, but we thank you guys for listening. We thank you guys for sticking with us through this long episode here. Plus, want to make sure you guys direct you towards the Twitter page at @the_square pod. Go check us out there. Again, questions of the day goes up. All the latest news, everything goes up on that Twitter page. Please like, rate, and subscribe to the show. And also, the biggest thing that you can do is share us. Because again, I say it every week until we start doing it. We want to grow. We want to get bigger. We want to make sure that we're reaching as many fans as possible, because we just want to grow a community of sports fans that are happy to talk about basketball. They're happy to interact with each other and not get dogged about it on Twitter. Let's just have a conversation right there, then and there, about the current events that are happening in the sports world. So,
and definitely embrace the various views that we come up with. That's just me and you. We just
we
watch the same game and have such different views of what we see.
Exactly. Which is one of the biggest parts about this show. I think that just having the perspective of you who's watched NBA for so long, NFL for so long, me. I've watched the NFL all of my life, but yes, I have a different perspective on the game. But I also am a student of both of these games. So
you haven't burned as much pure heart right now.
True. So yeah, well, I mean, I have been spurred by the Bears quite a bit. So don't say I haven't seen anything yet.
Well, that is a life sentence we all live.
Well, that's going to do it for today's show, guys. Thank you guys again for listening. We'll catch you guys in the next one.
All right. Have a good night.
Just over 2 hours.